Because agents, you have these connections in your phone right now. You're feeding them leads right now. You just need a way to be of value to them.
It's another one of those days where you interviewed someone so good a couple years ago that you just had to bring them back. And I'm super stoked to have Amy back here today because when we talked last time, you kind of were at the stage in your business where you'd built something awesome and you guys had a crazy market share in a small town, and you were finally starting to like take what you learned and like figure out like, how do I package this up so that other people, agents around the country can take advantage. And now fast forward a couple of years, you've done that. You've sold it. You've proven that it works for other people, not just for you. Like you weren't just the one-off person who people liked who worked with you a lot in your town. You made a model. And so I'm really stoked that you joined us again today.
Yes, thanks for having me. I love it to be back again. The gang's back together.
I know. Well, why don't you give everyone a refresher for people that maybe started listening, since your last one. Okay. Walk us through kind of like what your initial superhero story was. And I want everyone listening to realize like this is a superhuman story, because for most realtors to do 10 deals a year is pretty amazing. But I mean, Amy's team has built a 10% market share in their entire area. And they literally rank, the number 33 team in the country for units in teeny tiny Sioux Falls. So, I mean, like, I want to know how you did it, and then we can go on to what's new.
Okay. Awesome. So, yes, Amy Stockberger Real Estate, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. South Dakota, again, is the 5th least populated state. So my little team of about 20 agents, we do over 10% of our local market share because of the model we built out. And so I'll kind of fast forward or rewind, and then I'll fast forward. But what happened that made me create this is about 2014, and we were doing fabulous on the before and during part of the transaction. Systems are my superpower, one of them, and so we were really killing it. People were really, really happy, but we weren't getting that repeat and referral business that we should have been getting based upon that. I just couldn't figure it out, and so I went to down a rabbit hole looking for a model I could rip off and duplicate, put into my business. And I couldn't find anything that was taking care of the clients for life, taking care of everything of their human existence and their home ownership journey. So I created what we call our lifetime home support model. It's based on the foundation of serve, then sell. And we found that when we do that, when we're authentically serving first, before our wants, needs, and desires, that the sales naturally follow. And we've turned our tribe into these raving fans for us, that we have thousands of people walking around as our billboards, which has helped us to build a 90% repeat and referral business. And I took that, I designed that out, and I'll walk you through it. And then I also designed out a way to add in an additional revenue stream. And then now we're at a point where we are showing agents how to build a repeat and referral business that's scalable and sellable. And that's a big miss in our industry, because our industry has really failed on showing agents how to do that.
And I'm especially curious to learn about that when we get there, because I think of like, there's different types of real estate businesses. And unfortunately, the third type is realtors that don't have a business. They just kind of like show up every day. That's like it's like the third type, but we're not talking about that. But I think when you think about these realtors who have a referral and repeat business, the problem becomes when they think about retiring, they're like, how am I going to keep this going when people just want to work with me? So I'm curious to see what you've done to kind of structure that in a different way.
Right.
But let's just get into like, what could agents be doing to get more of that referral and repeat? Because that's really, I think the value of online leads right now is at an all-time low. People are converting less than 1 in 250 online leads. So if you're not focusing on your sphere, you're crazy. What are you doing?
Right. So like, here's like some fun stats on that. So to speak just to that, humans will trust a referral from a friend and family member 90% more than any other marketing campaign, any other marketing strategy. 90%. That's nearly 100%, right? And a warm lead, a warm referral, you convert at 30% higher than any other lead. Obviously, because they're coming to you already drinking the Kool-Aid. So what I call it is, it doesn't matter what your B2C strategy is or your B2B strategy is. If your H to H, your human to human strategy isn't in line with taking care of people through all of the parts of their human existence journey, you're not going to stay top of mind, and you're not going to ignite that law of reciprocity. So the way we've done this in a few different ways is when anybody buys or sells a house with us at Amy Stockberger Real Estate, they get access to our VIP club for life for free. And that includes access to our moving trucks. It adds access to our party supplies. So think bouncy houses, cotton candy, snow cone, popcorn machines, tables and chairs, all branded to me, mind you. And they don't have these parties by themselves. My brand is everywhere. And then we also have a tool shed. So every tool they're going to need for all of their home ownership journey that they don't want to rent, buy, or store, they can come get: ladders, wheelbarrows, commercial grade carpet cleaners for free for life, all branded to me. And these items, you like my top 10 of my party equipment and my top 10 of my tool equipment that were checked out last year costs right now $3,900 for somebody to put that into their business. And so it's so approachable, and it just has that law of reciprocity that kicks in, that the people are always coming back and getting things from me, asking for service from me, which again ignites that law of reciprocity that we have in our universal laws that we just have no control over. And that is, once you give something to somebody, they feel compelled to give back in kind. And the thing is of being of authentic service to them through all these stages, not just the transaction, because right now we know transactions are down a big, more than they've ever been in every market, basically. And so every agent should be focusing on their biggest lead source, which is always going to be their sphere, right? But they should also be focusing on growing that sphere. How do you grow that sphere to pick up more market share and then serve them at the highest level? So we also added into our program, I think we talked about this last time too, but we have a vendor network, because we as agents, we are super connectors, right? We connect our clients down, the buyers and sellers. That's our first job, right? But then we connect them with everything else they need throughout their entire journey. And so I monetize that, because first I knew it was going to serve my client, because I knew my clients needed these products and services. I knew it was going to grow my sphere. The more people who knew about how we do things very, very differently, the more opportunity I'm going to get to have anybody who has a life change come to me, my brokers, to me as a broker, and me give those leads to my agent, which makes me powerful for them and sticky to my agents. We have an over 7.5 year agent tenure, which is really high for our industry, right? It's like so low. Attrition is really high right now for our migration for agents. And so we monetized it. So I had another revenue source. So I have over 100 vendors. They pay me $3,500 a year to be a part of my program. So I'm profitable before I even sell a house. But the better part, even the big ROI, is I get to go in and onboard their employees into our program. So we created an employee benefit program that is in alignment with all my other pillars, so that their employees, these employers who have, some of them have 3 employees, some of them have 150 employees, they're going into my nurture sequence. We're able to get in front of them and talk about how not only are we the best at connecting buyers and sellers, but how we do it so very differently with our lifetime home support model. People can save $20,000 in the first year with my brokerage, and the support and savings continues for life. And so we have a way of staying very sticky and helping our community grow. My vision is to grow big, juicy legacies for everybody, my clients, my agents, my staff, my community. And it's just a circle that keeps feeding itself, because we're able to have all these systems and strategies to really, really, really add massive value for my H to H, my human to human connection.
There's so many different things there that we could choose to dive into and unpack. But if, for the average agent out there, if they were to simply just start with let's say the 3,900, start with half of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Start with half of that stuff, and it gives you a reason to reach out to your past clients. It gives you a reason to have those conversations. And maybe it starts with your vendors popping their logo on some stuff at a much lower cost until you've proven that you can send them that business. But there's no reason that any agent listening couldn't start somewhere with that general concept.
No, and actually, if your audience, if you guys want to go out and just follow me on Instagram, I'll send you over my roadmap on how we onboard vendors into the program. So just go follow me at Instagram at Amy Stockberger and DM me vendor, and I'll send it out to you. And it'll be the exact roadmap we use to onboard vendors into our program, because agents, you have these connections in your phone right now. You're feeding them leads right now. You just need a way to be of value to them. Here's a great example. This just happened just a couple of weeks ago, but one of the largest landscaping companies in my market is in my program. They ROI'd their investment in my program the second month they were in it, just from the opportunities we gave them with introducing other vendors. But their business developer called me a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. You just landed me a giant new deal." And I'm like, "Oh, tell me more." He's like, so I was in a meeting with a big company here in town who has a ton of commercial buildings. And I was trying to get their snow business, their snow removal and their lawn business and their landscaping business. And he's like, the meeting was going okay. When we got to, he started to get a little distracted. And he's like, I got to stop. I have to throw this big party tomorrow night for one of our new companies. I have to go, rent some chairs and all this stuff. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. My guy's like, I'm actually a home support team partner with Amy Stockberger Real Estate. Let me call and see if I can get all that. He came and got all my chairs and tables, my margarita machine, my commercial grade food warmer, all this stuff that cost me next to nothing, all branded to me, mind you, to a company I don't have a relationship with, right? So he brings it in. The CEO is so blown away by this. He's talking about my company in front of all of their employees, calls up the landscaping company the next day and said, hey, you're getting all of our business. We just can't believe you were able to do this for us. This was so great. That landscaping company has 130 employees. Do you think ever that any of their employees will ever buy a house or sell a house with any other brokerage? Their CEO had a meeting with them saying, like, this is because of this program, we just were able to add on this big book of business. So
it's cool too, because like once you buy the stuff, once you find the stuff in your garage, like half of us have this stuff already.
Right.
I mean, you can literally like the options. I didn't even think about this the last time we chatted, but the options are limitless for the types of calls you can make, because like I work with like a lot of nonprofits in my area, and for them, like renting these things, it's cost prohibitive. But if one of their people bought a house from you, which based on your market share they probably have, they can now use this type of stuff. And it's like an additional phone call you as the agent can make to say like, hey, have you thought about this? Like, we would love to save your organization some money. You guys can use this.
We give our stuff out to nonprofits for free, and we sell houses to nonprofits. We do with the trucks, same thing. And I monetize my trucks too. I didn't say that, but I believe wholeheartedly in the Amazon model of turning cost centers into profit centers as fast as I can. So we sell ad space that helps generate business for those vendors. So I cash flow on my trucks, and it's a brand awareness piece. It's a community give back. So it's just the program itself. And again, think about this. We didn't talk about this. AI and tech are moving so fast right now. We live in a very delicious time. And tech has been trying to get into like push agents out of the business for a long time, right? That's just what they've done. They wanted to do that, portals, all those things. But one thing that AI and tech will never be able to do is satisfy that human to human connection that we as humans just innately crave. So again, if you do not have a business model that tech can't gobble up, you're going to be in trouble. And if you're not putting this human to human connection into your business right now, with as fast as our industry is changing, because we all know we had a pretty big lawsuit last year where the world said, we're done with our industry being transactional. We want transformational. So my goal is to create a tribe of not entrepreneurs, but servapreneurs who elevate that client experience before, during, and forever.
Mm-hmm.
So they can build a repeat and referral business that's scalable and sellable. Because again, that is where the big miss is that our industry also hasn't set agents up on a path on how they can actually walk away. And right now, Matt, the stat is 25% of NAR members are 65 plus. Right now, we are in, there's like $100 trillion is going to change hands because of the boomer generation. We're in a silver tsunami. And there's all these agents who have been in the business who think that their only option right now is just to walk away and not monetize it at all. And the wrinkle in time that we live in, that we've really, we created this new category called relational tech with Pro Insight that is allowing agents, and we're showing them how to acquire books of business for 0% down, how to find with this AI powered tech that we created, different opportunities that live within their database and this new acquired database, so that they're building in this market share, and they're solving a problem, because a good entrepreneur solves problems, right? They're solving a problem. At first, that agent, they're giving that agent a legacy. They're giving them a monetization of a business they've built. They're taking care of those clients. Those clients don't need to become portal leads. Those clients who they've loved on, they have a solution where they're putting it in there, and then they're monetizing it even a higher level because of the AI powered tech that we have. Because like, think how many investment properties that cash flowed you would buy if you could do it with 0% down.
Right.
all of them.
You'd keep going. You'd buy the unlimited amount.
Right. So we built out a playbook on doing that, on going in, and we have a calculator that shows the valuation of it, and going in and just saying, hey, this is what we feel your book of business is worth. Now we'll show you how to optimize it, and this is what it can be worth. And we show you, we have a whole playbook that helps you capture that business at a higher level, because the industry average is like 40% of what is captured when an agent buys another agent's book of business. And we have the whole structure all laid out, the way to have it higher. But agents who are implementing my lifetime home support pillars that I've built out, a play by, just a copy and paste way to do what I've done, who are doing that, they're going to have a closer to a 90% capture rate, because likewise, I'm buying books of business in my market for nothing down. I'm giving their past clients, a dirty word to me, we only have forever clients, but I'm giving their past clients access to all of my pillars of my lifetime home support model right away. So they're getting access to my trucks, to my party, to my tool shed, to my vendors, and all these things that they have access to with all the preferential treatment they get with that, some discounted pricing with those vendors right away. So I'm making them sticky to me, so that when they or someone they know has a life change, I'm the obvious choice. I'm growing my database, and we're showing agents how to do that. We're growing their sphere in a way that is solving massive problems in a time where right now is the opportunity, not tomorrow. Like, now is the time to do that. And we've even built out, we have exit strategists, certified exit strategists, who are calling around finding books of business for agents to purchase at 0% down. And then we have the whole playbook on how to work that business in so that they stay within yours and they actually are transacting with you.
This is amazing, because like for so long I've been telling realtors that one of the biggest missed opportunities when it comes to leads is actually other agents, right? I mean, you have all these agents in your office who they should have retired 20 years ago, but they don't because they can't.
Right.
And yet they're never around. They can't really offer great service to their clients because they're in Florida, they're God knows wherever. And for there to be a system that makes it easier for that facilitation to happen in a way that the realtor can say, like, is this person's business like worth my time? Or is this going to convert? I mean, that's huge. Obviously, it's great if someone starts with your program at first and then builds up a business that's repeatable. But even if they don't, and they want to jump into your second system and find a book of business that makes sense for them to buy, there are people in your market, there are clients in your market, and the more systems and structure you already have in your business, the easier it'll be for the people that you're acquiring these clients to jump right in and get all of your value. And probably more than they frankly have ever gotten before.
Right. And, that's the Pro Insight deep dive done for you, is the tech that we built that does that we show agent, we upload their database into this platform, and it goes through and it just finds all these opportunities that live in their assets under management, because that's how they then are able we'll be showing these agents how to, as they optimize, acquire, and then get ready for their exit. They're going to be able to exit for money down at a much higher rate, because we're 5xing them within 5 years, easy, to get them to a point where they're making triple or five more than when they started out with us. And then when they exit, here's their assets under management. This is why it's sellable. This is how many times they've transferred. This is all the information they need. And we're constantly, with this AI powered tech we have, finding all these opportunities, making the agent not a reactive agent anymore, a proactive that's reaching out to these clients, offering these solutions that they likely didn't know, and most agents don't,
I love that.
Or do.
Well, and I think what I find really interesting about this is, like, we're not talking about using AI to automate anything that the customer sees. We're using AI to kind of give us the data and the business insights to figure out what our next move should be as a salesperson. And I think that's really how smart professionals are using AI right now, because some of the customer facing stuff, it's okay, but you can get caught, right? Mm. And if a customer thinks you're using AI to do your job, they have to start to think, like, should I be paying you? Right. Versus when you're using AI to figure out who to call, if you have an hour in the day, which 20 calls do I have time to make? That's unbelievable, because you're increasing your hourly rate versus putting things on your calendar that aren't going to convert, based on the fact that we know that it's not a high likelihood of someone buying or selling.
Right.
And I think it's really interesting that, like, you kind of talked about the human to human model, and then we talk about, this like building a sellable business. And I think in real estate, those are usually two polar opposites, but you've been able to kind of marry the two by turning, by simply making it into a business where the human is just at the focus.
Right. And again, solving problems. And we show them, what we do is we show them how to bring in the rest of their affiliate partners, their vendor, their electrician, their HVAC, their dentist into this. And it does the same thing with their database, finds opportunities that live within all of these. So we've built it out it's going to be over 50 different industries that will live within this, that are all really feed each other, because what is there, three jobs are created every time one house sells. I mean,
Right.
we have a giant piece of the economy because of what we do, and helping people achieve the American dream. And right now, especially when transactions are down, agents should be focusing on more on the have tos, not the want tos, right? Well, how
Right.
do you get in front of more have tos? You grow your sphere. You set it up. You put in service offerings so that your people, instead of, back in the day in 2014, I thought I was so smart because I knew that even then, 10 years in, I'm like, oh, I got this. It costs more to acquire a new client than it does to keep an old one. So I'm going to run these billboard campaigns, $25,000 to $35,000 a year, for the one campaign goal of reminding the people who knew, like, and trusted me to use me. Well, duh, it didn't work because it didn't serve them at all. Instead, now, by serving them in all these ways, I have thousands of people walking around as my billboards. Again, referring me to all the people who are the have tos, keeping me in front of the people so that my agents are running at the highest level. Again, we do 10% plus of the market share, and number 33 in the nation from little old Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
What I think too, it's because what I like about this is I like that you describe this as like pillars. You're
Right.
adding additional complementary pillars that kind of like build on one another.
They do.
And so people don't need to start with like the whole shebang, although they certainly can if their business is already at that level. But by doing that, you're just giving yourself, in essence, like one more touch point with
Right.
each person in your business. And then like I think the biggest thing is like really with all these different services that like, they might need in the community, you're giving them more value while at the same time you're coming up with another opportunity to reach out, or for someone in your network to reach out. But it kind of keeps them in the circle. It's kind of like how, let's look at the medical industry. Not that anyone's a fan of that industry, but once a network gets you in, you're only going to other professionals in that network, and they're making billions of dollars. So maybe we should learn something. I mean, like when Apple gets you, they get you into their ecosystem, you're downloading their apps, you're doing their thing, you're buying other products that fit in. And I think in real estate, we don't always take the cues from other successful business models and industries. And clearly, the better agents like you, Amy, have done that, and it's working. So I love to hear that.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get in touch, I know you mentioned your Instagram. That's one of the easiest ways. How could someone get more information on either your original program or your new one?
Yeah, so they can just reach out at Amy Stockberger on Instagram, DM me. You can also get me at lifetimehomesupport.com. That is where all my assets are at to help agents scale, whether it's, again, done for you, or they do it themselves, the digital courses that I've laid out to help them add systems and strategies in. And another thing that's on there, and then Pro Insight is, we have a calculator that it's in beta right now. We're going to be handing that out, showing them what the valuation of their business is. And so I can get them access to that too. But the other thing, what me as a broker, the legacy agent, like the exiting agent, I feel like if you're a team leader or a broker, that should be a lead pillar you have forever on. It should be just something that you're always doing, because I realized that I had a system and strategy for every step of the home buying and selling process. Why would I not have a system and strategy for every step of the real estate agent's career? That was a fail on my part. I'm like, I need to have that because they are humans too in all these different stages of their life. And so we have the big juicy legacy one. I already have a system set up to make them into top producers. I have that with my lifetime home support model and all of our systems and strategies. But then how about the exiting agent or the hybrid agent, the agent who wants to get out of the business because they want to retire? I have a strategy now for that. Or how about the agent who was relocating because their spouse got a job? I have a strategy for that. Or how about the agent who just can't stay in the business anymore? They need to go do something else. I have a strategy for that, as well as the hybrid. There's a lot of agents out there who the industry has changed so much that they just don't like it anymore. And they only want to do what they want to do. They don't want to do any back end stuff. They only want to work with a handful of their clients, but they want to make money off the other ones. So I made a strategy, have a playbook for the hybrid agent who doesn't maybe want to go to my rah-rah meetings. They want to work with what they want to work with, and they want to be taken care of on the back end. So I have a way to do that. That's feeding them, monetizing them, as well as giving opportunities to my existing agents through those referrals. So we have a process, and I just strongly feel, especially right now, that it is imperative that teams and brokerages have that be one of your lead pillars that you always have on. You be the one that anybody who needs to exit the business, you're the one they go to.
I love that. And I think you don't need to reinvent the playbook. You can find someone like Amy, like some other top producers who have it figured out for different types of agents. Go to them, use their advice. Amy, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge today.
Yeah, it was great to be with you. Thank you.